this is Technomancer for 0 Point Fuel. I'm working on the generator. I think this is Motorlab update number 14. This is the frame. You can see I'm trying to get the alignment just right on all the parts. And I've got a couple of these patterns. They'll be in the new magnetic alignment guide, which is almost done, by the way, 2.0, which has all these different sheets in it. You can see this sheet, you take two of them, you line them up because the pattern's bigger than one sheet, and that gives you a full pattern there. I have a 9 and a 12. The 9 is for the coils, so what I have to do is create a small piece that's going to lock these in exactly the right place. This is real important that these are not cocked or set up wrong, because the way the three phases work, for it to be accurate, 3 coils are hitting at the same time, which gives you the maximum power output for that phase. So as it transitions from one phase to the other, they have to hit all 3 of those coils in exactly the right position. So it's important that you line these coils up exactly the way you need them to be for that 3-phase output to work. Okay, the plates are done. You can see how they work. This has been routed. This is a polycarbonate. It's pretty tough stuff, and this plate fits down inside of that plate. And then there'll be a coat of resin on that. That'll seal down on that, and that is only that thick. Now the other thing I'm working on here is the generator. A lot of people, they cast these in a ring in resin. Well, this is experimental and I don't really want to do that, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cast each individual coil in resin with fiberglass material around it, and then I can mount it on the sheet. Now the sheet could be replaced with something like stainless steel later if I want to use it like that. I don't know if you can see that, but what I did is I etched the pattern of where the coils needed to sit. So once these have been cast and hardened, I can mount them in the right positions on these shapes, and that'll give me the 3-phase pattern I need for those coils. Frame's done. It's rock solid. No problems. This is polycarbonate. This is high density plastic, so it's not going to melt or break. I've got some changes I've got to make to the motor. Basically, the last version of coils set up on the cart motor, what we call a group fire, where 3 coils fired at once and the pattern was repeated 3 times. Really, the sequential fire is not going to work unless each individual coil could push the wheel by itself. If we were running 700 volts pulses, it would probably work, but in this case, the coils that fire have to be able to push the wheel in order for it to accelerate beyond 1000 RPM. What I've done is I built a new pattern. Once I've tested the pattern, I will post it in the forum. Basically, it's a group fire, but it has 1 additional group. So there's 4 subgroups with 3 coils in each group. The nice thing about this design is that if I wanted to add 4 coils in 4 groups, I could pick points and add the coils in the right places. So the pattern is more expandable. Now on a 2-foot wheel, your options are limited, but when you get up to a 36-inch wheel or 33-inch wheel, the space is greater between the magnet points. You can add more coils that way using this pattern, where if it's sequential, you have to basically change the pattern completely. This will allow you to do it where you don't have to change the pattern. You're just adding additional coils to the subgroups, and that will give you more push on the wheel. The way this is built, when you use this pattern like this, you have the potential to do an offset. And so these screw holes will be moved up and below, and that gives you the ability to create 2 new patterns without interfering with this original pattern. And all you have to do is create the point on your tool, and this is the other half of the tool, and this lets me drill the holes in the actual coil mounts. So I create the offset, I use the offset on here, and I use it on the wheel, and we have a whole new way to mount the coils in the same relative position to the magnets, but the holes are not going to overlap. And that's important because that's what this rig is for, is to be able to test different firing patterns on the coils.